Some people are passionate about money. They want to make more money. They wake up to make money. So let them make money. You need to understand what you want. Why do you want money in the first place? Are you passionate about money, or do you want money because you want to fit into a certain social category, or do you want to spend your time to do something that makes you happy? So you need to figure it out for yourself. Nothing is right or wrong. To each his own. You need to figure out what you want. Create your own questions, make your own solution, and figure it out.
Macha is in the house, people. Macwin Ian D'souza is a Bangalorean content creator, most known for some of his super funny bits and relatable reels. But like you'll realize in this conversation, he is a lot more than that. It's something that not a lot of people know about him, and I'm glad that something like this, a long-form conversation, was able to discover and kind of dive deep into some of these topics with him. In this episode, we talk about how spirituality and meditation can help you focus on things in life. Deep, right? And well, when you look at Macwin, it's not something you expect. Is he the kind of guy who does meditation and has a very spiritual routine around him? No, at least I didn't get that feeling, right? But the more I spoke to him, I realized the kind of discipline he's inculcated into his life is all come through these habits and practices. So yeah, we dive deep into spirituality and meditation. We talk about a lot of instances how he was able to get around the struggle of just putting himself out there and creating content. We also talk about how exploring different things and trying different things out is the only way for you to realize what you don't want to do in life and also find what you should be doing in life. So we talk a whole lot about experimenting, trying a bunch of things with your life. And again, I think Macwin's gone through a lot of those phases. And I think pre-pandemic, he had very different approach to content, very different approach to his career itself. And now with how things have just blown up for him, and well, for good reason and good measure too, right? I mean, he's doing incredibly well. So yeah, so we'll get into all of that and more in this conversation. And the best part about having these long conversations, like I said, we get to explore areas in detail and in depth and get to learn things that you would otherwise never get a chance to learn. Because I think right now with how short attention spans become and when I say attention span, everyone's attention spans become, and how all these platforms are pushing towards shorter and shorter form content, it becomes so much harder for you to, one, keep someone's attention, to really peel back those layers and uncover and discover certain attributes and certain topics. Because if you think about it, there's nothing you can learn with a 15-second or 30-second or 45-second or maybe even a 1-minute video, right? If you're trying to really uncover certain topics, you need to, well, read numerous books on it. You watch so many videos around it, go through so many blogs. And that's because it takes that much of time and effort to really uncover and unpack that bit of knowledge, right? So something like this, where I was able to sit down with Macwin and really talk about it, got me to really think about a whole lot of these things. And it's not something I would have been able to do if it was short form content. So I'm like super grateful, if that's what I was getting around to saying. Super grateful for the fact that we do have long form conversations, and the fact that people are slowly realizing that it takes time, right? All of these things take time. So yeah, that's exactly what we did in this episode too. So we really sit down and just have a long ass conversation, a super fun one. But yeah, thanks man, Macwin, for coming down and spending some time with me. This is great. And yeah, I guess let's get right into the episode then. This is my conversation with Macwin Ian D'souza, a.k.a. Macha. This is Against the Odds, and I'm your host, Akash Damodaran. This show is all about inspiring people to take the unconventional path and lead a life that is truly fulfilling and rewarding. Watch and listen as talented individuals take us through their learnings, the challenges they face, and how they continuously adapt to overcome them. Can you bring this a little closer? Slightly? This only. Yeah, that's it.
Enough?
Little more? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better now?
Yeah. Now it's good. Now it's really good.
Sennheiser?
Yeah, Sennheiser. So, Sennheiser is our audio partner. So
Good job.
yeah, exactly. Dude, so just before you came in, right, I was recording this. So basically, the idea is to go live next week.
Yeah.
And this is the first episode we would be releasing after, since we took a break from the second wave, right?
Yeah.
And because our show's all in person, we had to take that break. It wasn't our choice. So, so the first episode I decided was going to be me sitting down alone and just giving a couple of updates. Like, for instance, we moved here because you saw the previous space, right? So we moved to this new space. And see, this is all a little retro because we have already shot a couple of episodes with guests here, right? But I haven't given people an idea of what's been happening behind the scenes, right? So just before you came, I did like a 30 to 45 minute, like a monologue, and I shot that. And I was talking about Sennheiser. I was talking about, the community partner.
You're airing that monologue?
Yeah, of course. So that would be the first episode that goes up.
Right.
I was trying to explain how crazy it is that Sennheiser is now partnered with us. It just didn't sink in, right? And
what did you sell to them? I'm curious now.
Nothing, dude. So been in talks with a couple of audio partners.
Right.
And again, top-notch players, right? A lot of them are being a little, I don't want to say very pricey, but they were being a little, putting down their foot in so many ways, right? Yeah. Sennheiser, and especially because it came through a nice, good recommendation, these guys are very open about everything. And as a brand, and at least I can say the brand because of the people I'm interacting with, incredible. No pressure. That's why I was asking you about the timeline, about how you're publishing content and all of that. Zero pressure from these guys. They sent us what we want. I said we need something else. They sent that to us. They asked me when would this go live. I said probably here. If it's been a month and a half post that as well. No pressure. They not even asked me anything, and I respect that a lot, right? And that keeps me wanting to be on my toes even more, right? So I've been doing that where. Now, finally, I can tell them, hey, I have like 2.5 months of content already set and good to go.
Right. I think that's what they found.
Yeah, exactly. So also the fact that they saw consistency from the day we started, like all podcasts, right? Especially in the initial days, it's just like, let's just do something, bro.
Yeah.
Just
not like an 18-year-old in his bedroom thinking,
literally, yeah.
I should also do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do this.
Hey, that much money here. Hey, then I'll pakka do it. So
put 3 cameras, put 1 light over.
I know, but that's
2 mics.
but you don't need that also. They'll be like, in the phone only, I'll keep shooting, bro, or something. Yeah, I mean, people just get started, right? So there's also, I mean, we have spoken about this also time and again. I mean, there is obviously some benefit to getting started, right? Of course, you should get started, but don't treat either your content or your audience like shit. Don't just put it out there because you just want to put it out there. Oh, I haven't done something this week. Let's just put some shit out there, right? So the fact that we were able to consistently put out one piece of video as well as audio every week since we got started, a lot of people paid heed. Right? A lot of people saw that. And especially when I mentioned that in my cold email, or when I mentioned that in that first email, they actually go and take a look at our playlist and they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's every week we've been doing this. And this is a full-blown production, dude. This is, firsthand, right? So what it takes to kind of create something like this. So, and I've said this before, but it's like a mini documentary of sorts, right? So the fact that we were able to do that, I think Sennheiser noticed that, and they saw a lot of promise. Again, with subscribers or followers, and this is what I mentioned in the monologue as well. We haven't done some crazy thing and all. But our views, our listens, downloads are quite high, very high, right? Retention is through the roof. CTR is not bad at all. So everything is working in our favor. And I think they were able to kind of see that too. And that promise is what I think got us the deal. Again, we don't know.
And the more difficult part is getting all of this, the venue, the brands, coordinating it in the same timeline.
Correct. Exactly.
That is the challenging part, not getting them on board.
It is actually such a... And people don't... It seems very easy, right?
Exactly.
It's like a matter of fact. This is how it is.
Yeah.
And when... I've spoken about this too. When someone looks at... like a piece of content, they're like, hey, that is how it is always supposed to be, bro. I mean, like let's say something you put out as well, right? Yours is a 30-second piece of content.
Yeah.
They look at it like, this is what he always planned.
Yeah.
It's only you who knows what all you've gone through, those iterations to actually finally it being the produced final, end outcome. Right? And the same thing here. It's not like I already Church Street, pakka. I know. The Sennheiser, only Sennheiser, I know. No, bro. I mean, it's been
So
like
many other things, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
factors also. Yeah.
big time, dude. And I think it's just I think the more you get comfortable with not knowing, right? I think there's something there. And I've said that too. I think that fear of unknown is something a lot of people are scared of and they don't know how to handle it. And that's why people don't quit their jobs. They don't, go out venturing into all these, weird territories. Right? I say weird because it's not conventional.
Yeah.
Right. So, So, dude, but like I said, it's still not sunk in. I still can't believe these guys are like, this is crazy. And I remember the day they sent me the mics. They sent in an awesome ass Pelican briefcase. Okay, and I'm like, what is this? Some bomb or what is this thing? I opened it up. I'm like, look at some fucking capsule. Shit, this is some crazy shit, dude. And but dude, yeah. So early on, grateful and just happy that it's happening.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, shit, dude. So like, okay, so also there's no starter into the show. We have gotten started.
Yeah. I was just contemplating till now if it started or not.
It has, and like I said, maybe it was even before you like walked in. We've been shooting you there and all that, and you. He's like shit. He's now like, fuck, I should have like taken this into account. When I told you to go park there are cameras on you, bro. Oh shit. Oh man, but dude, the last conversation we had itself was we decided to talk for like 15-20 minutes.
It felt like I was in a podcast last night when we spoke.
Shit, crazy, And that happens a lot, dude. It happens a whole lot where I try to understand what the guest has gone through.
Right.
Understand their journey and like things that are close to your heart. And time and again, and more often than not, we start talking and we realize that these are such important things that a lot of people want to either know or they just don't have the right direction because everything is either super ideal, like you see how packaged so well and they talk about, glam and fame and whatnot. And then there's the other side where it's like, bro, you try this, you'll pakka fail. Gone. You don't even think about it. So it's only like end spectrums. But where that relatability factor comes in when someone who's actually climbing the ladder can talk. Right? And that's something I have tried very mindfully trying to do with our show, which is to get people who are still kind of battling the odds, if that makes sense, right? Who are still part of the process.
That's where Against the Odds comes from.
Exactly. There you go. So clean plug into the show where we are actually shooting that same show itself. No, man. No, but yeah, no. So I think there is something to say about people who can talk about what they're going through right now too. And I think we spoke about your journey where you said everything that's happened to you right now, people know you for what you've been doing the last year and a half for the most bit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, even less than that. So a year, right? Which is crazy. And you have a lot of things to thank for, including the lockdown and the break and whatnot. But dude, we'll talk about that and more today. So let's actually start with something that is close to your heart and is very close to my heart. I think anyone who's a content creator should talk about just storytelling.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I was talking to you yesterday, you said, I don't see myself as an actor or a dancer or a performer, but I'd like to be a storyteller.
Yes.
Right? And I told you this as well, that storytelling is literally an art that maybe even predates mankind itself. Literally, you can see things written on like caves and, walls and whatnot that... And it's a matter of how people have been able to... It's an art form, right? Convey something.
Storytelling is the art.
Exactly.
And all your other forms of artistry like dance, music, painting is the language through which you convey your story.
Right.
So I came to realize that I was always interested in any form of performing arts or art in general, fine arts. And I used to jump from one to the other. When I didn't get enough from singing, I moved into acting. Then I didn't get enough from that, I moved into dancing. Then again, I went back to acting. And then I'm like, why is this happening? Because everybody's telling you, you must have one passion, one goal, and you must focus on it. If you're not focusing on it, you're not doing it right. And I'm like, am I wrong somewhere? I just realized that what I actually like, so this happened in Bombay when I went to my acting training. And the teacher is like one of the biggest acting gurus in Bollywood. And he was personally asking everyone one by one, why acting? Why do you want to become an actor? And my name starts from M, so they were like, we're going in alphabetical order. There were so many people before me. I was trying to come up with the best answer by which he would get wooed. And in that pressure, I think this answer naturally flowed out into me that I'm not an actor, I'm a storyteller. I like to say stories in different forms. Till yesterday, it was still with dancing. I enjoyed dancing and I used to convey stories to dancing, which is why in dancing, I never enjoyed dancing to this Bollywood numbers or doing this flashy kind of a dance. I enjoyed dance which had a repertoire, which was like a half an hour piece, a story recital. I realized that my passion is telling a story to a bunch of people. I like when people are sitting and I'm saying something and all of them are listening to me and they carry something away from that. So, yeah, storytelling is the core essence of any form of art, is what I think.
Dude, yeah. And I think you can really convince in a matter none like other, if you can actually story tell well, right?
Yeah.
If you can, again, anything, if you think about it, you're trying to pitch something or the other. If you're trying to converse with someone, either you're trying to get some point across. If you can tell that well, it's literally a form of narration, it's a form of storytelling. Like you said, it's an art, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to you wanting to put it up as a produced piece of content, or something that you want to put out there, and especially now with the digital age, it's all a matter of how well it's end-to-end produced and how well it's like stitched together and all of that. So this whole storytelling, we'll maybe touch upon what you said yesterday. Let's just get into that. Where you said that the entire knack of storytelling is something that you have to discover for yourself. Correct?
What do you mean by knack?
So
what
when,
exactly?
I mean, so when you said that at the end of the day, you as a storyteller, you would have one form of or one way of expressing.
Yeah.
Someone else will have a very different way of expressing. And I think that's why all these creators are told time and again to be yourself and just do what comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you said that Reels was never in your foresight. Nothing at all.
Wildest dreams, never.
Shit.
Never.
No, we should talk about.
I look down on it. I look down on Instagram Reels. I'm like, that's TikTok. There's no way I'm getting into it. YouTube also I looked down at one point. So
Oh, yeah?
YouTube also I looked down at
But
one
you
point.
started with YouTube.
No, I started off being an actor.
Right.
So
of course, yeah.
When you set your goals, you set it like
Yeah.
Oscars, straight to the Oscars. And I'm like, let's find the best acting school in, like, okay. I applied to New York Film Academy. It got too expensive. I got in, but it got too expensive.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, okay, let's look what's the best in India. And I got into that school. I finished and I'm like, yeah, next. I'm going to stand next to Ranveer Singh, do another, a Bollywood 100 crore film is what I was thinking.
Right.
Then you start seeing what's workable right now. Because you need to earn your bread and butter every day.
Yeah, for
You can't go and keep auditioning, every day hoping that something will work.
Right.
So leveling down, doing ads, doing television for some time, which was a horrible experience.
Really?
Yeah. And eventually, I think everything worked, but I was not happy in that space. I was not getting what I wanted from films. So it was either I wanted the way I wanted, others I don't want it. So that's always been not my thought, but the way I function. Subconsciously, the way I function.
Right.
YouTube was a pure accident, as I told you. So I was I was doing a lot of advertisements. My end goal was to do films, which it still is. Be an actor or direct films, one of the two, just to be a part of films. But I was doing well in the advertising field as an actor, and I was a assistant casting director for some time.
Oh, okay.
And I was like one of the top casting directors in Bangalore. I was doing pretty well for myself, but I never wanted to do that. I don't know why I was doing it. And then I became a producer, and I was producing a few ads. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I was like, am I on the right? Is this why I came into this? It's not why I came into this. I came in for something else. Then boom, lockdown. All of a sudden, that literally changed.
Bugger,
everything.
you made it happen. It's like you were like putting it out in the universe and like, fuck.
People are going to blame me now. But
man.
yeah, it's done its harm. It's given,
Correct.
done a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
But I took the best out of it and not kept, there were people around me, my neighbors and everyone complaining that, oh, lockdown, my work is gone. We're not getting groceries. We can't go out. We're getting stressed in the house. And I'm like, these people are just going to sit and complain. Okay, let me even I complain. I do the same thing.
Correct.
But I'm like, okay, let me just change. I'm getting bored of complaining. Let me just change. And I started doing YouTube. The first video which came out was a 4 minutes YouTube bit. 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes YouTube bit. My friends loved it. And I just kept that going on.
But what did you want to create? Like, what is the topic or areas
I'll tell you
that
why
you
I
wanted to-
created.
Right.
So I have a very small friend circle. It's not like I go out partying, meet 10 people today, and tomorrow I'm with another 10 people. I have friends who are like 4-5 people who are my really good trusted friends. I crack like some shitty joke, lame joke, and they die laughing. Okay. And I'm like, okay, right now I need to make money. That's what I need. I'm unemployed right now. Why can't I make money out of this?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, if these 3 people are laughing, I'm sure there'll be 3,000 other people who will laugh at this. So let me just put it out and see who else laughs. So I started putting out. The 3 people converted to 30 to 300 to 3,000 to a lot of comments coming on Instagram. Why are you so underrated? That kept me going.
Right.
And now, yeah,
Shit,
it's
dude.
growing. It's amazing.
And when you got into this whole the let's call it medium form content on YouTube, right? What is your intent? What were you again? Comedy itself?
Yeah, so you watch the Jordanians.
Yeah, of
you
course.
watch Danish Seth,
Yeah.
and you watch Niharika and I'm doing
Yeah.
their long form content.
Yeah.
So initially you don't know what you want to do. So basic thing is to draw inspiration from them, and you're actually imitating them, but you try to make something original. You the tag of originality, and
Hey, no
this
one
is
else
me.
has done this.
That is them. This is me. Okay. So I tried a couple of videos, and it wasn't satisfactory for me. Like to my level of what production level I want, being in an advertisement background,
Right.
it wasn't reaching that. People found it good. I found it horrible.
But dude, we are always our worst bosses, right? If you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it, we are the worst critics.
That's why we are where we are. I mean, that's what
Right.
is keeping us growing.
Correct. That's true. That's so true.
So Instagram was never like Reels was like TikTok. No. And I think there's one guy who does digital marketing. He's not a friend of mine. I'd worked with him before on some films, and he said, "Just do Reels." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do it, bro." No, just do it, bro. Okay, fine. 11:30 in the night, I just took my phone, shot 5 reels, which are my first 5 reels. You'll still find it on my page. And I don't know what I was doing. I'm like, okay, let me just post. And I created a new page because I didn't want my friends from the industry to see it and laugh at it. Which is why I gave a new name called Macha and created a new page. So nobody would track me down. And I thought once I reach like 50K followers, then I'll tell them that I'm doing this. So I don't make a fool of myself. So yeah, that first 5 reels, I started getting 2 or 3 comments, positive comments. I liked it. Just kept it going. And it's going somewhere right now.
Shit, damn. That's crazy, right? Like something that you didn't vibe with, or you kind of looked down upon.
Look down,
like,
not white, look down, yeah.
Shit, yeah. And man, that's crazy. And I think at the end of the day, that is also obviously an art form. It is,
Right.
you know, and we were discussing this yesterday, where just because short form content or super short form contents become like a big thing and it's on steroids,
Yeah.
doesn't mean everything else is kind of going to get wiped away.
Yeah.
All of that has its space as well.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, like you said, if someone wants to find out something about, I don't know, tutorial, they're not going to come to Reels.
Yeah.
They're going to literally go and understand things on YouTube. And there's obviously going to be a space for that,
Yeah.
right?
Now I
Yeah.
can't expect the TikTok audience to watch YouTube videos. They want to watch TikTok. Leave them alone. You want to watch YouTube, you watch YouTube.
Yeah.
They're not asking you to come and watch TikTok. I mean, there's an audience for everything.
Yeah.
There is, even if you observe films, there's a huge number of people who like watching the kind of films a Salman Khan or a Shah Rukh Khan does.
Yeah.
Though to a lot of intellectual people,
Let's call them that.
yes, they might find it,
Cringe.
a waste of resource.
Yeah.
A lot of, you go to a theater and you see a lot of people having a stressful day and they come out and the rest of the day is like, yeah, they're just happy.
Yeah.
This is their good time with their family. They
Right.
don't go to expensive resorts and spend vacation. They just pay, 80 rupees for a ticket, go to the theater with their family, eat 20 rupees popcorn, watch this film. They're really happy. So it's serving some purpose for someone. So I just feel this is what I later realized. It's not right to look down on something. There's something exists, something is prominent because it means something to someone. It's not just there.
Yeah.
That film is making 100 crores.
happenstance. It happened to be, no, obviously not. Yeah.
There's a reason why
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
is happening.
Correct.
And yeah, everything has its place. You find your place and you work with your space is what I think the right approach is.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest issue that arises here is when you see someone's reels working well, right? And you're like, I should also create reels. Like, oh, I should also be doing this. But at the end of the day, if you don't kind of fit into that format, or it's not something that drives you, right?
Yeah.
You will give up. You will like fall off that bandwagon very quickly.
Yeah.
But then you discover that because you tried doing it, right? I mean,
I did everything. I won't lie. There are other TikTok equivalent apps.
Yeah.
When TikTok got banned, many like 10 other apps came. I went on everything, dude. I went on Instagram, I went on YouTube, I went on Twitter, I went on Facebook, I went on all these 10 other apps. And the content which I was creating on Instagram was not working on those apps.
Right.
So one day I just created a regular TikTok app where I'm playing a song and I'm being cute and dancing.
Being cute, it seems. Yeah, that's good.
1 million views in 2 days.
Holy
What's
shit.
happening?
Shit.
Not judging. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
But people liked it.
Yeah.
So there is like space for everything.
Correct.
And you need to find what you want to do. And you don't know what will work for you.
Correct.
I wanted to see myself getting the Oscars. But I'm here creating TikTok reels where I'm looking cute. And that is working for some reason. So you find out what works for you. There'll be 3 things that work for you.
Yeah.
You pick out whichever is the best, whichever you want to do, whichever you can make peace with.
Exactly.
Not whichever you want to do, whichever you can make peace with.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. There are 2 things to this, right? You either try to impersonate someone else, and then there's also the imposter bit, where imposter syndrome, where you're like, am I worthy of something like this? You know, like I just got, like you said, I got 1 million views, but am I really that, worthy? And then you're like, I don't fit in this. That's the imposter side. And then there's the other impersonation side, where you're being exactly that person. Like you said, let's be Niharika and him.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a guy, so I am not Niharika, And then just keep at it. But what I think most creators find through this process is, if you don't vibe with it, like you said, don't make peace with it, you can't keep up with it in the long run for sure.
No. You need to stop thinking of what people are thinking. I think that's the major, no matter how much you deny it, somewhere at the back of mind it's playing.
Correct.
That
Pakka, dude. No matter what you and I are saying this, we are still thinking about how each and everything we're saying will be perceived.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we even spoke earlier about, should I speak this or should I not speak this? I'll always think about 10 different perspectives of 10 different audiences.
Correct.
There'll be 3 people who'll say, give this reply. There'll be 2 people who'll give this reply. There'll be 1 guy who'll give this reply. And there's 1 guy who'll just put emojis. I know what kind of comments are going to come. So it's not like just shooting a reel and posting it. I need to analyze, everything. But you need to take it in a way which it'll help you grow, not stop you from posting content.
Absolutely.
So I think that shift of thought is what will make the difference for any creator. It's at least what has helped me.
For sure, dude. And this monologue I was talking about with my show, I spoke about how there's a lot of merit in just turning up, just showing up. If you wake up and you decide to, let's say you're not a writer, but you decide to write 30 minutes every day. More often than not, you will find something. Either you'll find that you suck at writing, or you don't vibe with writing, you can't make peace with it.
Everybody shows up, but nobody will focus on writing. That's the problem. They'll go sit on the table, they'll be like, I'll write today.
Bro,
and then they'll open YouTube.
Some people won't even do that. You know how you were talking about procrastination, right?
Yeah.
And how and again, we'll get into how spirituality and meditation and all of that's helped you and is really gotten you to focus on, what you're creating right now. But dude, there are like maybe the first 10 days, it's nice and novel. It's new, right? So it's like, oh man, I can't wait to wake up at 5:30, get my coffee, sit down, write, and it'll be awesome.
It's for all the motivational videos with the good BGM.
Exactly. That totally. And then you sit there, maybe you'll write that first day. Second day you might write. Third day is what you said. You'll turn up and you'll sit there and then you're like, let's go to YouTube now. And let's go to TikTok. Let's open up Instagram. Next second, 4 hours later, you're still like scrolling or some shit like that. But you can even get to a point where you just don't even want to go there because that place you have associated with, shit, I'm just wasting time there. It just makes me feel bad. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you and I know how it feels. We would have planned 10 things, we'll do 2 things, and then like, bro, we did nothing today. That feeling is the worst. Oh man, but yeah, yes, last night as well when you spoke, you said, I told you, dude, I'll come back. I need to go shower. I need to like quickly get dinner. And you're like, cool, take your time because I'll get to editing.
Yeah.
I'll finish that and come back. Yeah. It takes something to edit at that point before you go to bed because you have to turn up at that point, right? Yeah. You have to show up. Like imagine something that you don't vibe with. You're like, fuck this. Why am I doing this? Right? So I think that is also so important. Once you find something that you, like you said, inherently make peace with, it drives you. Let's put it that way. Otherwise, long run, you're just trying to get like a quick burst of whatever.
But even there are people who are like, passionate about things and they have no motivation to get the work done. They love what they're doing. They love what they want to do, in other words. But there's no drive to do the work.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. I think it's just your mind playing tricks with you. Or, it's just the mind who is hypnotizing you and telling, this is what you want. Okay, you say this is what I want to do, but your mind is like, but how about we do this?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, why not?
This sounds better.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And mind is like, didn't you enjoy that 5 minutes? Yeah. How about 2 more minutes? Okay. And that just goes on. And it's like night. And it's like, aren't you hungry? Like, yeah. What about dinner? Okay. Aren't you bored of just eating? Do you want to watch some Netflix? Okay. The movie is 1 hour. You'll finish eating 20 minutes. But just finish the film. I mean, it's just 40 more minutes. And then you're sleepy. Night is done. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
And the only way to get out of it is like to tell your mind to shut up and sit on the table. If you're writing, open the book, hold the pen, and the mind is calling you out. You're like, no, I'm going to focus on this.
Correct,
it's like
correct.
that laser focus.
Correct.
If you keep that focus for some time, I think your mind will also give up and start
Dude,
working.
yeah.
with you.
I mean, we spoke about this yesterday, right? That momentum is the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? Once you get into that state, then it's easy.
Yes.
And see, we're all, I think, doing the easy things, or rather the fun or awesome things come so naturally to us.
What do you
right?
mean by
Like,
fun and awesome?
I mean, like you said, maybe in this case, like instead of having to sit down and focus on writing for 30 minutes,
Right.
instead of that, you might as well just scroll through the feed.
Nothing wrong in it. Correct. But that's not what you want to do. You want something else.
Yeah.
But
Because
do
you know
something
what's
else.
going to happen 1 week later. You're going to look back on that day and say, shit, I sat and bloody that 20 minutes Netflix became 8 hours of
Yeah,
Netflix
yeah.
or whatever, right? So that it's easy for us to do that as well. That comes more naturally to us because we're drawn, like we keep saying, like getting those highs or, feeling good, right?
It's a zero effort high.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that zero effort is what drives you in.
Correct.
Like your mind never want, for some reason I don't understand this, your mind never wants you to do the stuff that you want to do.
Correct.
So if you want to walk, it'll tell take a car. If you take the car, it'll say you just walk. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just go against the mind every time. Anything it says, just say no. Just go against it.
Oh,
And I think my mind in some way has made peace with it. Okay, 2 days you work, 2 days you do it my way. 2 days you chill in your bed, you lie down, you watch Netflix, you eat chips. 2 days you focus and work.
But dude, that's a good way to reward yourself, right? Because you've done something about
Exactly,
it, right?
yeah.
And I think that break and rewarding yourself is so key, because otherwise you're not programming your brain to do that.
Yeah.
Because the next time you're like, fuck, I'm going to do all this 8 hours of work for what? Like, why am I doing?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So obviously your mind is trying to do that, right? It's going to get you on the easier path.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I was saying, that momentum is key. How many times, and again, this is all like part of habit change and whatnot, right? If you sit down and they say just there's this 2-minute rule. Just sit down and do anything that you want to do for 2 minutes. That's it. Stop. After that, if you don't want to do also, it's okay. But do it for 2 minutes. But chances are that if you get into editing for 2 minutes, you will go on for like a good, session.
Editing is some kind of an addiction. I can't. I never thought I'd be interested in editing.
Yeah.
So once for this advertisement film, my senior producer told me to go and sit at the edit table and see what is editing, because it's a celebrity ad film. And I'm like, why should I sit there for 3 days? Like, you're listening to me, you're going there. I'm like, okay, fine. I went, sat 3 days, and I got so curious with the shots. Like, the shots we shot and the way he was changing it on the edit table, turning things. I'm like, dude, you're the director. You're the real director.
I know.
You're making the magic happen. You're the god. Teach me this. Teach me that. How did you do that? And I don't know if he was getting annoyed. The editor was getting annoyed.
Pakka he was.
Like, how do you get the glitter effect there? How is the glitter like spilling out? Tell me, teach me this, teach me that.
Who sent you here? That fellow, bugger.
And at one point he was like, do you want to go have lunch? No, I want to watch this. Fine.
Oh man.
So editing is like some sort of an addiction which just gets into you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, man.
No, but that dude, you are lucky to have found that.
Yeah,
I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
You have found it for yourself. I have had interns and people working with me, and maybe not even working with me, people who have tried their hand at editing. They're good at it,
Yeah.
but they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's also, there's nothing wrong with
Nothing
it.
wrong in it. Yeah. There's so many things we are good at and we don't want to do.
Exactly what I was going to say. Like, I was at a corporate job.
Yeah.
I was quite good at it, dude. I can right now you give me like you give me like a project to handle a product. I can give you end-to-end planning. I lay it down.
Yeah.
I know exactly what has
We're
to be
the best
done.
at it.
Yeah,
But we don't want to do it.
that takes effort, bro. Because
And
why?
the other person who's not good at it is thinking, why?
Exactly.
You have everything, why?
That's the funny thing, right? Someone who likes product management is looking at me like, bro, you're fucking high over. What's wrong with you, dude? And then when I think about it, like, it comes naturally. It comes easier to us because we know what to do.
Yeah.
Good money. Good, you can get noticed well.
Yeah, a lot of respect from everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing bro? Because I don't want to do it.
And
It's
they
us.
perceive us as crazy people.
Yeah.
That we have everything and we're just like,
Yeah. No, but that dude, and again, and actually we should just talk about that, where we spoke at length about how it's so important to say no to things that are not, your main priorities right now. Like you said, you decided to only take up so much work because you would rather chill at home, cook with the family, eat with the family, spend time, relax, as opposed to just taking up 3 more brand deals and then trying to, publish or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Which, dude, that is such a tough thing to do. So tough, because I'm doing this, and I told this to my wife a while, like a month and a half ago. We got our last client, and it's an individual creator. I said, that's it. No more clients for this year. Because,
You sorted for the year?
I mean, in the sense, I know this work is enough.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's long-term clients.
You're going you're going to go really far, man. You're sorted for the entire year.
I mean, so when I say sorted for the year, it's not like they've given me money and you say set for like the next 6 months. More like I have this client with me for 6 months at least.
I think I should also start a podcast.
You should.
2
probably.
mics, 1 table, 1 light, 3 cameras. I'll do it.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like, and again, see, it's how you perceive it. Like, I haven't told you how much I'm earning. I haven't told you
exactly.
that it's like this much. I'm like fully set. I can go to Dubai and I'll set one podcast there. No, not like that. But with what my the way I see things is, if my rent is sorted, if I'm able to save X amount of money, if my lifestyle can be pretty much maintained for the next how many ever months, I'm set.
Yeah.
I don't have obviously when I buy something, I buy probably the best. But having said that, I don't randomly splurge and like.
Do you aspire for anything in life? Like, this is what I want to do. What keeps you? Is there something that keeps you going every day?
Absolutely. I think that the biggest thing, and again, this goes back to that monologue itself. I'm just trying to help individuals lead a meaningful life. That's my biggest thing. It could be in so many forms. It could be a creator who doesn't know how to get started. So they DM me on Instagram saying, hey, how do I do a podcast?
Yeah.
So I said, it's very simple. You just take the phone, literally record yourself, do it 8 times. Do it for 8 weeks. Not 8 weeks, 8 sessions. You'll know whether you want to do it or not, whether it comes naturally to you or not.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you'll know, you'll have the answer. So these things, if I can help you, or it could be an entrepreneur who has a business idea and doesn't know how to get started. It might seem like, my God, this guy, look at that company, how to get... Dude, don't think about it. Think about small steps. How can you get started? How can you make money? How can you get sales? How can you make a slight profit? Can you do that? So that way, if I can help people out, that's what drives me.
Right.
And till now, like just like you, a year ago, I was not in this space.
Yeah.
I'm brand new to content.
Exactly.
I have never held a camera.
Nowhere close to content creation.
Yeah, not at all. Like literally from corporate job to an F&B venture of my own.
Right.
Where is content here? But I'm good at noticing things when I consume content.
Right. Yeah.
That's why YouTube has been if YouTube wasn't there, this show wouldn't have happened. As simple as
YouTube wasn't there, a lot of things. I also wouldn't have probably been doing whatever I'm doing.
Crazy, right? It's so crazy how things work, dude. But yeah, so tell me about this. How did you get to the point that you said this is important to you and you say no to certain things? And you say this is where I draw the line.
Well, since we spoke about meditation earlier.
Yeah.
And I'll bring 2 things here. Initially, like say 5-6 years back, I was this kind of guy who wanted everything. I want to do everything. I want to achieve everything. I want to be on the top of the ladder. And I gave my 200%. So if I was expected to be in college at 7 o'clock for dance rehearsals and then attend classes and then evening another rehearsals, and you'll be exhausted after like say 12 hours of dancing. And I have 12 more hours left for the day. I have, 8 hours to sleep. I have 4 hours left. I'll attend 2 dance workshops in those 4 hours. So it's like that kind of laser focused in climbing up the ladder. But then once I came out into the real world, I understood that things don't go the way you expect it to go. It's not only your laser focus which will get you to the top. There are so many other factors. Everything has to be in the right place at the right time, and things need to work in a certain way for things to happen.
Correct.
And people have to like you. It's not that you're doing good, you're saying good to yourself and everything is good. People have to accept you. That's the challenge.
Correct.
10 people might say good, 20 people will say you suck. So that is gonna happen.
Yeah. And that's inevitable.
Yeah. And then I'm like, this is difficult, man. 5 years of so much of hard work, and you're saying this is worth nothing. What do I do now? And then my options as a dancer was either to become like a teacher, to earn money,
Yeah.
or to dance in this corporate shows and everything, which I
Events.
don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm like very like kind of a guy who wants to do a repertoire in an auditorium, have a decorum to the performance and everything. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. So I called it off, got into acting. But spirituality in that way calmed me down. It made me, I'll say spirituality and meditation together.
Define spirituality, because this also is a wide umbrella, right?
Yeah.
What is it for you?
I'm like, a lot of people might find this answer wrong, but this is what I've understood. It might be wrong, but this is what I've understood, that spirituality is different for everyone. It's accepting something more than yourself. For you, spirituality might be giving, helping someone. You're accepting something more than yourself. It's not just about you. You're trying to help someone. You're praying to God, a form of spirituality, devotion, rituals. You're still accepting something which is more than yourself. So I think in any dimension, when you move in terms of giving service to the people or moving towards mysticism, rituals, or any form of things, I think that is spirituality, where you accept there's something more than you.
That's a very good way to define it. Yeah.
And meditation is a tool. From my perception of meditation so far, it's a tool for me, which is one way of getting closer to that higher power, or whatever you want to call it, and what I believe in. So this two together has helped me a lot to come in terms that it's not all about me. There are other things in the world. There are other people. There are million people. The million people in the world are more important than the one of me. So that kind of, mellowed me down. And coming to your question earlier, I've drifted, went in a huge
that's how
circle.
that's why the podcast is long form, bro. You can just keep speaking.
like this.
The other one is like 30 seconds or 4 minutes. Fuck all that.
So I'm like rapping like Eminem. I have to finish in 30 seconds. I have to say everything.
Yeah.
And every day morning I do vocal exercises to not take breath, because breath will take 2 seconds in between. Everything in 30 seconds.
This is what Eminem's been doing. That Magana. Yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about Sennheiser, who is our audio partner for Against the Odds. This is something I thought would not happen at least not so early on in our journey, but I'm glad it's finally happening. So for people who don't know, Sennheiser is obviously one of the leading audio brands and audio providers in the world, from some of the best professional audio equipment like headphones, microphones. In this case, some of the microphones we're using here for our podcast as well. So currently I'm using the MK8 condenser microphone, and I think we have the MK4 as well here. These are two mics, again, at different budget points or different price points, which, again, depending on what your budget's going to be, it's going to fit your use for sure, because the kind of technology that's used in these mics are just incredible. I'm sure you can, hear it yourself right now. So if you want to really take your game up to the next level, or if in case you don't know where to get started with purchasing a microphone, then might I recommend the MK8 or the MK4 from Sennheiser. Also, this episode is shot and recorded at Open Jam Studios, our community partner. So if in case you want to just quickly get started with creating content, either the audio or the video bit in a very professional looking setup, or maybe you want to invite guests over and you don't have the right place to shoot or record your content, then might I recommend Open Jam Studios. You just need to come on down here, sit, pay for the space per hour, and then get going. It's as simple as that.
So yeah, spirituality kind of bought me in terms to say that there are things more than you. And I think that's what my Instagram page is kind of moving towards, that people like to see certain things. And I'm giving them more of that. It's helping them make their day better. And I'm giving it back to them. So, yeah, it's just a balance. I'm happy, they are happy.
Got it.
I'm making money, they are getting good content.
That's what. So how did you decide to draw that line?
Draw that line. This is how much I need.
How did you? That's what. So, dude, that's such a tough thing to do. We spoke about this also yesterday, right?
I as I told you yesterday, that pandemic came and everything just went off. Before pandemic, I used to blow money. Whatever I used to make. So today I got a check.
Bro, talk about your Swiggy expenses or your eating out expenses.
Not Swiggy. So I'm out. I'm never at home. I'm out meeting someone from the industry, watching a movie, or just eavesdropping on some producer, having some discussion somewhere. I just want to know everything about the industry.
Right.
And of course, if you're out, you eat outside. And I'm like just blowing 30, 50K a month on food outside.
Shit.
And movie, you go, you buy a popcorn for 300 rupees.
That is some fucking daylight robbery, no? That is some crazy shit, dude. But yeah, Monopoly. Anyway, yeah.
So that happening, and I was like blowing a lot of money. Pandemic happened, and I realized that, okay, I'm not gonna get money tomorrow. And I blew out everything. I've saved nothing. And I look at my account balance, okay, I have 8,000. Till then, I never looked at my balance. I'm like, money is coming and I'm spending. It's just happening. Yeah. If today I don't have money, okay, tomorrow one more check will come. It'll get balanced out. And then I saw I have 8,000 rupees. Okay, I don't know when this pandemic will get over. What do I do with this 8,000 rupees? For the entire, that's when I decided to do YouTube content. And I'm telling you, for the entire year, I have a roof over my head. My parents are giving roof. I get food. So that being aside, personal expenses, I took, I think, 13 or 14 months to spend that 8,000. And in that 8,000, half the money I've spent into production for my YouTube and Instagram.
Crazy.
I don't know where this transformation came from. I think it's mostly because of spirituality and meditation, which helped me say no. And the pandemic, which said you can't go out to restaurants.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
Exactly. Eat whatever's there at home. Rice and sambar today. Same rice and sambar for dinner.
Magne, that reminds me of that reel you made, dude.
Which one?
Where you go and you open up that the dabba and
nothing
it's empty
is there,
and
your
your mother's like, I can just take this.
Rice and sambar. Take it.
And you're like, I was watching this with my wife, and my wife was like, he ate it also. Yeah, obviously, we would do that, right?
You don't have an option. You want to be hungry. Like, seriously. What option do you have? Maximum option you have is put one piece pickle or fry one apla, and like, it's like your mayo on the side.
Exactly.
And, yeah. More than that, nothing you get.
Oh shit.
So,
oh man, that's so relatable, dude.
Yeah, so that's where I understood I need to draw the line at that time. So this is how much I can survive with 8,000 rupees for an entire year. And I can blow even 80K a month. But, I had to draw the line. I didn't decide where to draw the line. I had to draw the line because all my attention, focus and energy was going on spending money. On making money to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
I was making money so that I can go and eat these things at the restaurants. I could go watch, 5 movies in a week in a theater. I could go to these parties. I could, go on holidays. I was earning money for that. And I'm like, in this whole process, where was the purpose which you had initially? Where did it go? Like, you're not happy. Okay, you drifted off. That's fine. Everybody drifts off. But you're not happy right now. So I'm like, let me just focus on this. And I think the focus became so strong that I forgot that I needed to earn money. So now I'm in a terms like I need this much. I enjoy being at home. I enjoy cooking food for my family. Not that I do it every day. Sometimes I cook. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy just sitting out. I enjoy taking the car, going till the toll gate, coming back, paying toll and coming back.
That is like a Bangalorean way of like road trip.
Yeah.
That we all know.
That's all. Pay toll, take U-turn and come back. So all those things, I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
So I still get offers for ad to be a producer. I get so many different kinds of offers in different avenues, but I'm like, I'm happy with Instagram. This is enough. I'm happy with what I'm doing. At the most, maybe I'll start making YouTube videos.
Correct.
Or if a good film offer comes, yes, I'll do that.
Correct.
But there are so many other things in life. It's not just this. You need to be open to every dimension and every perspective. You need to know what a guy sitting in Gulbarga and having tea at the tea stall thinks. You need to get perspective and opinions from everyone. That's what life, that's why you're in life. I mean, you need to perceive everything and just take every essence.
Right.
That's very important is what I feel.
Bro, that is, I mean, this is super deep, but it
is?
It is for sure. I mean, it might become like, it's become second nature for you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think this way.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I'll tell you an example of a conversation I had with my client, the same client I was supposed to shoot with today morning. And she said, I was earning so much and she quit a high paying job and she's also planned to pursue content. She said, I was earning so much and didn't have to think twice about spending at all.
Yeah.
Forget thinking about spending. I mean, saving rather.
Yeah.
Forget saving. She was like, at the end of the month or like mid-month, I would look at it and like, there's so much money. What do I do with it? I have to spend it. It's like pressure to spend. Almost.
Yeah.
And then there's this lifestyle creep where you get to one point, you set a type of lifestyle standard. And then because of that, you kind of take it to the next level. And next second, that becomes your normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that becomes so hard to like maintain. You can't go back, down a rung.
It's okay to spend that money, but the problem is a lot of people don't realize they're stuck in a loop.
Correct. It's a never-ending loop. Exactly. Correct.
It's becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger circle.
Correct.
Just going on and on and on.
Correct.
And I feel sad when I see people don't realize it. I'm
Correct.
fine. I want to spend 50,000 a day. That guy wants to spend 10 lakhs a day. Let him spend.
Correct.
But most people don't realize that life is just going off spending in that loop, and there are so many other things that you can do.
Correct.
And I'm just looking at people and I'm like, it's like watching them on television just doing stuff, and I'm like, just get out of there, man.
It's like
So
Squid
much
Game.
more. Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. So much more in life.
Shit. But there's no way for you and I to tell people that. We have to discover literally that
Yes,
for ourselves.
by yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I had to get beaten up in this way, like lose my production work and everything.
Yeah.
And I had to like get down to ground zero and then realize. Though some people, like I had some of my relatives say that, dude, your perception is so narrow-minded. You just know things about your industry, about your work. You don't know anything else. And I'm like, oh, relatives are always like just there to, pull you down. But they were right, actually. This is one instance where the relatives were right. So that I realized later. Okay, I need to perceive everything. And I think even in my field, for filmmakers or anyone, great film comes out of a perception which is outside your framework of a film, of a framework of understanding what film is. When you perceive things from another person's perspective, 100%, fully from another person's perspective, is when you get inspired to create new things. I feel that shift of thought or shift of perspective is like really important for any creative person or for any person generally in life.
Correct.
You can't be one-dimensional in your thought is what I think.
I mean, you can be, but you'll never grow.
There's more.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I had a guest on the show who spoke about how creativity is basically knowing 5 things, but kind of bridging all of that together. Right? Like, so for instance, you having different perspectives and you kind of bringing new threads, and there's no limit to all of this. It comes down to how you want to paint this picture.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, that's also storytelling, right? It's about how you're putting that thought across.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just like you turning up and you learning the craft and honing that, skill, right? At the end of the day. Yeah, man. This whole thing is like, it gets you thinking, dude, because the reason why I brought up that whole having to say no to additional money or additional fame or whatever it is, like recognition, right? It's an endless loop. It's an endless cycle, right?
Some people are passionate about money. They want to make more money.
Correct.
They wake up to make money. So
Correct.
let them make money. You need to understand what you want.
Correct.
Why do you want money in the first place? Are you passionate about money, or do you want money because you want to fit into a certain social category? So do you want to be in that social category, or do you want to spend your time to do something that makes you happy? So you need to figure it out for yourself. Nothing is right or wrong.
Right.
To each his own. Nothing is right or wrong. You need to figure out what you want.
Right. Absolutely.
Create your own questions, make your own solution, and figure it out.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that why we were talking about, your why, right? Knowing the why you're doing this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you said, this whole loop, right, will only get cut when you decide that you are doing this for this reason.
Yeah.
I think you spoke about how you quit non-veg.
Yeah.
Cold turkey, you just literally, no pun intended, you quit non-veg.
Not with an intention of quitting. I just didn't feel like eating. So I'm like, today I won't eat.
Correct.
Today went on for like a year.
Yeah, it's still going on. Yeah, so the moment that clarity, like I told you, right? Like when my wife and I tried to go on a sabbatical from eating non-veg, it was more about assessing the health benefits and just seeing how things are. But we, like I said, we eat like non-veg like twice or thrice a day.
Yeah.
And we used to, and we love it, right? It was a challenge to resist.
Yeah.
Because we weren't clear on, I think it wasn't something that was long term. It wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
But in your case, you have already decided this is it. This is off the table. Right?
I might start eating tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not like, I'm a vegetarian. I won't eat non-veg ever again.
Correct.
This is my philosophy of life. This is my ideology. No. Tomorrow I might just start eating. Who knows? But today I'm not eating. I know that. Right now I don't want to eat. Just go with the now is what I believe in.
Yeah.
Right now I don't want to eat.
Shit.
Tomorrow
yeah.
I might start. Who knows? I
Shit,
might just get out of here after this podcast, go to that hotel and buy 40 rupees kebab and eat. I don't know. Right now I'm not eating.
Yeah, dude, shit. And I think that same thing goes back to your expenses and spending and all of that too, right?
Yeah.
Once you know that, it kind of becomes so much easier. And then, like you said, life has so much more to it, dude. It's not just, like just having to get into that cycle and you're just living, like literally looking at the other person. Oh, that's what they're doing. Let me also do the same thing.
I think it's just going beyond yourself. Once you perceive life, that there's more than you.
Yeah.
There are other things that matter.
Yeah.
Like I know there are 2 billion people in, what's the population?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Let's assume 2 billion
let's
people.
Let's put some few billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 billion, because every podcast will start. There were 2 billion people who think this way. So just giving that, those figures will give you like.
Don't hold us accountable. Just like, some few billion.
Those figures will be like, okay, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah. He must have Googled.
78% of the people do this. So like, okay.
Shit, how does
research?
He know? Yeah, no. Yeah, but you were saying 2 billion. Yeah.
Why was I saying?
I don't know, bro. You tell me.
It's drifting off. Okay.
Oh, man. I think expenses and spending and people having to figure it out for themselves.
No. There's something else.
Shit.
Okay, let's just move.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to you, it'll come to you anyway. Yeah.
I think this is all because of consuming too much of 30 seconds content that I'm not able to hold a thought for too long.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude.
It's 1 minute now.
It's exactly correct. Let's. The policies have been updated.
I love Instagram. I think Instagram. Thank you, Instagram.
They're anyway listening. You can't get past that anyway.
No, I absolutely love Instagram. I'm being honest. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Anyone listening from Instagram, thank you.
That
I'm grateful.
Algorithm is studying your facial features and seeing whether he's lying or he's saying the truth.
Please put me in the best algorithm, please.
Oh, man. No, but dude, let's dive a little deep into meditation and
yes.
Because like I told you yesterday, I like to experiment with a lot of things, right? I like doing a lot of things, and a lot of these things stick because I would have studied numerous people who have done these experiments before and they've seen some benefit with it. One that didn't stick was the non-veg thing with me. But there are a lot of things that I've tried out. Meditation is one thing that I've been hearing a lot about. My wife has been very insistent, you should try it, you should do it. I just haven't gotten around to doing it, being very honest. And it's also because even if I get around to doing it, it's going to be very short-lived because I haven't gotten my why clear yet. I know that. Tell me, how did you get into this bit of meditating and what are your practices meditation? Because the benefits that people get from meditation, I think it's very apparent. Everyone knows that. But what are you personally seeing that? I think you spoke about laser focus and having, getting clarity on a lot of things. But tell me more about meditation.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Why do you think that you would want to meditate? Why would you give it a chance? Why would you give meditation a chance?
I've heard that it can really enhance your focus.
Okay.
Of course, like I keep saying, there's a lot of editing work involved with something like this, with my YouTube videos, with whatever I'm trying to put out there. It takes long number of hours to sit down and really do this. I love doing it. I love learning new things. I love solving those problems. But of course, I'm human. I'm going to drift and I'm going to, have days I'm like, I just don't feel like it. And like you said, even certain days I don't even turn up. I'm like, I don't want to go there into that room. Like I was talking, I think last week or the weekend before that, I was gone, dude. I was like, I wouldn't say burnt up. I was like, fuck, I can't do this because every day I'm working, every day. And there's this gnawing inside me. I'm like, I have to work and do something today. If I don't do something in that checklist, I'm like, shit, my day's a waste. I am a waste. Then life crisis, you know how it is. Yeah. So that whole thing, I think if I can get my focus clear and say that if I have to work and think of a sustainable option, I can focus on things better. Maybe if I add meditation to my entire
So the idea is through meditation, you will feel better.
Maybe.
Because of which you can be more productive.
Correct. I don't know what form and how that's going to play out, but
it's for the better of your productivity.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. For me, meditation is completely different from what it is. So I got this book called Autobiography of a Yogi. We all I won't say we all. Okay, I'm just forming sentences. I started getting into... It sounds good, man. Say, we all started doing this. Okay.
2 billion people.
78%. Never. Yeah. So I started getting an influence into spirituality and meditation through Sadhguru videos. I think with a lot of people, it's the same thing because it's all over the internet. And through that, I'm like, there must be other spiritual teachers also because I wasn't really connecting there for some reason. I don't know what. And I discovered other teachers like Paramahamsa Yogananda and Shri M from the Satsang Foundation. And there are a few other spiritual teachers. I got this book called Autobiography of a Yogi.
Of course. Yeah.
It's like a top seller, bestseller, and a lot of the big people read it, so it must be good, is what we thought.
Not just Indians, like literally everywhere.
Steve Jobs read it, Rajinikanth read it. That's sold. That's sold out. Rajinikanth read it.
Just wear your shades and start reading.
So, I didn't have money to buy. Again, I had only 8,000 rupees at that time. I didn't want to spend that money on the book. So I downloaded a free audiobook, which is there. Some guy put it on YouTube. I'm like, download. It had a thick American accent. And the pronunciations were like, accent was like all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'll manage.
I can understand. Yeah.
Press rewind, and listen again and again. And, those things kind of set me on the path of meditation. So what got me to start meditating is the spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. Because I, through my time reading that book, listening to Shri M's lectures, I started getting that feeling that there's something more than me. And meditation, they recommend meditation as a tool which will connect you to that higher power. And my goal of meditation is to reach, closer to that higher power. That's my goal, to experience, which they say is within you. It's not an outward journey. It's not a horizontal journey. It's right here within you. You just need to be ready for it and it'll come to you.
Correct.
All these things which you spoke about earlier, like being more focused and all these things are like a byproduct of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's not the goal of meditation. Your Western ideas and your videos on YouTube and Facebook and everything are advertising meditation as a solution to all your problems. It's not a solution. You start meditating tomorrow, you're not all focused, no distraction, and you're not worried about anything. That's not going to happen. You will be better at your work. I still am battling every day that should I take off the blanket, turn off the fan. Oh, by the time I go from my blanket to the fan, I'll feel cold. Let me just be here for another 45 minutes. All those thoughts will keep battling in my head every day. But if I look at myself 2 years back versus now, I'm more focused. I'm able to do things. So all these are byproducts. So meditation for me is a spiritual journey. All these things are just a byproduct. A lot of people won't connect to this spiritual idea. They won't buy it.
Correct.
So
that's why the West probably packages it that way too.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just trying to sell it. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. But in spirituality, a guru would never sell meditation. You want to do it, you have a question to understanding what's beyond you. Come, do meditation. That might give you the answer in the future. They don't sell it telling, if you do meditation, you will know who's the higher power is.
Right.
They don't sell it that way. So I connected to that space and it's given me the benefits. It's given me the rewards. It's giving me on a level of 1 to 10, maybe I'm at 0.2 on the meditation scale.
Right.
But I already see the difference. So yeah, the byproducts are definitely going to be there. But I feel everybody should be aware of what actually meditation is and what its purpose is. It's not to get you focused.
Correct.
The rishis didn't start meditating to focus better on their work.
Yeah.
There's a bigger purpose to it.
Correct.
These are all the byproducts.
Makes sense, dude. I mean, see, although we might talk about all these Western tactics and all that, it's definitely a good place to start. Because you're sold into the idea and then you kind of discover it as you go through it. Like, for instance, you found it through YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Literally, that's and especially for Gen Z and millennials and whatnot, it's the easiest way to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
After that, it's on you, or rather, you will have to figure that out for yourself.
I believe when you're ready, you're ready. At least with this dimensions of mysticism and spirituality, it's not something you have to, like, you tell 100 people and you expect 98 to turn up. But when you're ready, you're ready. Just don't go hard on yourself. I remember one of my yoga teachers. So this form of yoga is called Kriya Yoga, where we meditate and, try to connect. There's another form of yoga called Hatha Yoga, which is the physical way. So the end goal is the same of all the forms of yoga, is to connect with the spiritual dimension. The forms of doing it is different. The exercises are different. So Hatha Yoga is your breathing and your physical aspect by, how the Westerners say, bending your body and improving your flexibility and all these things. So my Hatha Yoga teacher I told him one day, sir, I've quit non-veg.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he was like, I think I didn't tell him one day after it, because obviously he would laugh at me.
Yeah.
3 months into it, I told him, sir, I think now I'm actually quit non-veg. And he's like, if you feel like eating meat, don't stop yourself. I'm like, why are you saying this? You're supposed to encourage me to not eat meat.
Correct.
And he just said me, when you're ready, you're ready. And he still eats meat. He is spiritually more advanced than I am. And he just said, in dimensions like this of mysticism and spirituality, when you're ready, you're ready. It's not like you decide you want to quit meat today and you force yourself, oh, today I'm not eating meat. Oh, tomorrow I'm not eating meat. I see biryani, I'm not going to eat that. No, you feel like eating it, you eat it. You don't feel like... It naturally happens. And I think that once that natural flow comes into it, you just accept it and make peace with it. That's what happened with me. Don't be too hard on yourself. What I feel. There are other things that you need to be hard on yourself.
There's so enough shit to
The small things I don't think you need to
Correct. Yeah.
keep beating yourself every day. We've been tortured enough as kids. Just enjoy your life at least now.
Dude.
You want to eat meat, eat meat. You don't want to eat, don't eat.
I know, just go get the 40 rupees kebab, yo. Like, why are you thinking? Oh, man. Dude, actually talking about childhood, you were talking about how you were bullied as a kid, right? And you, literally the whole creative aspect of you spawned from bullying and how you wanted to show, the world apparently, right? Talk me through that, dude. Literally, how did you... First of all, everyone, pretty much, most people go through some form of bullying. Yeah. Either they are the bully or they're getting bullied. Yeah. Right? There's something or the other. So, relatability factor, it's literally up there. Yeah. But in your case, you said, after the bullying stopped, your passion for wanting to put yourself out there with certain art forms died as well.
Yeah.
Walk me through. That was so weird to hear. I mean, I found it really interesting.
So... a person who gets bullied knows what goes through them. You don't want to go to school the next day. Yeah. You don't want to be with that guy, but you still hang out with that guy because you don't have any other friends. Also, I was socially very selective. I always wanted to be with the cool guys. They were nice guys in the class. I could be friends with them. No, but I wanted to be with the cool guys. Yeah. And I was the short, skinny kid they were big and tall and having mobile phones. This Sony Ericsson.
Flip.
Not flip, it's sliding phones.
Oh, yeah,
used to come.
Yeah.
And I'm I want to be with them, the cool guys. And I used to get bullied by them.
I have to blame Sony Ericsson for this. Shit. Anyway. Oh, man.
That being said, I didn't like the way I was treated. I felt, you start feeling worthless. And I hated, I won't say hated my life, but that aspect of my life, I absolutely didn't like it. To a point where you'd start crying and everything. Then, I don't know from where that just fire ignites in you that you want to vent out your anger or frustration or whatever it is. And I could channel it in the creative aspect.
Okay.
So, I used to participate in all the cultural programs in school. Dance, acting. I would only be the MC for the show. I would only sing the song. After that, I'll only go and play the keyboard. Everything I'll do. Then I'll go to Rangoli competition, I'll go to flower bouquet competition, I'll go for essay writing, everything I'll do. Okay. So I channeled myself fully into creativity and that kind of blossomed. And then that time comes when people say, you need to focus on one thing. You focus on one thing, your career you need to set focus and do this one thing. And okay, I have to pick one thing, I'll pick dancing. And I stuck to dancing and everything. And every time what felt good on stage was that frustration getting a form of satisfaction where I'm getting validation from people. The audience are clapping for me. They're not, spitting words at me or bullying me or
putting
anything.
You down, yeah.
They're encouraging me. They're lifting me up. And that kind of kept me motivating. I would go through that hours of, painful training because I wanted that. I wanted that validation from the audience.
Correct.
And your mind will start camouflaging with that thought with other thoughts like, oh, you love this. Oh, this is your dream. There's a purpose you're doing this. You're very passionate. You're very hardworking.
Correct.
You deserve this. At one point, that motivation also slowly starts, wearing off. Now I've done 200, 300 shows on stage, performing every day on stage. And you expect people are going to clap. And you're like, this is every day now. So, and of course, bullying stopped over time. Once I came into college, once I became the popular guy, people stopped bullying me. There were people who are like, oh, let's be friends with Macwin.
Yeah.
For a change.
Yeah.
People from Instagram watching me, if you're thinking my real name is Macha, it's not. My name is Macwin. Yeah. Continuing.
Yeah.
So,
don't worry, when I given you an introduction, I wouldn't have introduced you as, hey, Macha has come, bro. Don't worry. But yeah.
People ask, so your name is Mac and your surname is Macha. They ask you.
Bro. People who don't know what Macha is, it actually makes sense.
I like those DMs, man. I really enjoy reading them. So I think eventually I lost interest. But then I'm like, okay, I spent so many years and so much of energy into this creative aspect. Let me just find something which is interesting. So I realized from as a child, what I really enjoyed is watching films. I loved watching Salman Khan. I'll be honest. I loved watching Salman Khan.
Crazy. Bye.
When he came on the stage, removed his shirt, turned around in that pink open shirt and started playing his guitar. I'm like, dude, I want to be that.
Shit.
When I started watching Ranveer doing tatat, I'm like, I want to be that. So I'm like, this is what I want to be.
Correct.
This is what I enjoy. Like, I really enjoy it. So I'm like, okay, let's just focus into films. And I think now I found my balance. Now I found the thing that I want to do. I don't know, man. Today you're thinking something. Tomorrow you might think something else. Tomorrow I might want to get into investment banking. I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know what will come. Or I might just open a small restaurant.
Your DP on WhatsApp says you have gotten into stocks and...
Let's not get into that. That's private.
Oh my God. First of all, the first time I pinged you, bro, on WhatsApp, my God, bro, what the fuck was that? I was like, I think I pinged the wrong guy. There's some fucking shady ass uncle looking at me, and I'm like, and I was scared to ask you because I thought he could be related to you, and you put his photo up as a thing. Then I'm like, no, it's probably a joke only. Like, I don't know.
It's not a joke. So,
oh my God.
Okay, now after this I definitely have to change my number.
Shit.
So
don't worry, I'm not put the number out there.
No, people will know. No.
Shit.
The people I'm trying to avoid will know.
Oh,
so I have to change it's okay. It's time to change my number. So
I can cut this out. Don't worry. Hey, like
whatever looks good on the edit. Whatever gives the flow in the edit,
Shit.
we'll go with that.
Oh
okay.
Man.
So a lot of people from production, like once you become a producer or a casting director, there'll be 1,000 people sucking up to you. Sir, first message will start. Hi, sir. Hi. How are you, sir? Had lunch, sir? Tiffin aita, sir? Okay. And that will drift into, sir, if there's any work, please tell me. I'm like, if I have work, of course, if I think you're suitable, I'll remember you. But imagine responding to like 20, 30 messages of such
every day.
Small talks. I'm not just get to the point. Sir, is there work? No work. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Get to that. I'm okay. This talks extending. We'll meet up sometime and this, that. I'm like, I know what you want. Just get to the point. Which is why I took up this other person. I'm like, changing number is like, no fun in that. I'll change my identity. Take some random picture from Google of someone's face, put some name, put some status which matches that name and face. True color, my identity is I'm working in ICICI Bank or something. And status is like, life is a gift. Cherish the gift. With one gift emoji and one hands folding like this. And people are messaging like, is this Macwin? I'm like, nice. This is what I wanted.
Oh man, shit.
Yeah, now that I told you what it is, I'm changing my number today.
Oh man, but dude, this is great. I think we touched upon pretty much everything we discussed yesterday and more. And I don't see anything else that, unless there's something that you particularly thought of yesterday, because we spoke about so many things, right? And dude, I think the journey of a creator is always like this. It's even, we had I think an entrepreneur on our show, maybe I checked out another podcast, and this guy was like, if you want to run a business or you want to start a venture of your own, it's not like you have this like crystal clear vision and idea, and this is how you have to get to it, and you'll just like implement it, and that's that. It never happens that way.
It might happen.
I mean, it might.
1 in a billion chances. It might
Exactly. But for the most bit, chances are that it won't happen that way. Which means that it's about just that fear of the unknown, like I said, is just about keeping your mind open and just like rolling the punches. And just keeping...
the idea is to just stay with the thought that I want this to happen.
Correct.
Will it happen or not happen?
Correct.
It won't happen at 10 times. It might not happen only.
Correct.
Like some things, you'll keep trying hard and it'll never happen.
Yeah. And I like how you said, dude, earlier that there are so many things that have to align for something to happen. It's not like you just do one thing and that's it. It's done. If you want people to perceive you some way, people have to be in the right mindset to perceive you that way too.
And I know so many people who get there and then they realize this is not what they want.
Correct.
And they're like lost.
Yeah.
Because they need to continue doing this because they invested so much into it in terms of money, assets, or themselves, their time and energy.
Yeah.
They reach there and they're like, this is not. So you don't know, man. You don't know what. You don't know yourself. You surprise yourself.
Big
5 years
time.
down.
Big time.
The way I thought when I was 18, the way I'm thinking now is like so much change. When I was 18, I thought right now I'd be like on some set of Hollywood film,
Oh,
or
shit.
okay, maybe humble, some set of Bollywood film, doing some. But
with Salman Khan, obviously. Yeah.
But I'm here right now.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm feeling as amazing as I would feel in that film right now, being here. And you don't know what life has for you. You don't know what you have for yourself.
Correct.
Just I think take it by the day. Take it by the present moment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All these philosophies and ideologies will just keep piling up in your head, and then you're tired and you're like, let me just scroll on my phone. I'm tired now.
Yeah, correct. Goes back to that easy thing again.
Be here now.
Yeah.
Be here.
Bro,
Yeah, just take it easy.
I was going to say that, and there's something I ask of all my guests, which is to have one last message.
I have thought about this one last message 10 times. So I've binge watched all your videos. Yeah.
Dude, two things you said that mean the world to me. One is you said, when I reached out to you first and I saw your comments on the channel and I responded to it, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, when I pinged you, you're like, dude, last night I binge watched like some 7-8 hours of your content.
Yeah.
That itself, I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Yeah. I cannot believe this shit. This is awesome.
It didn't feel like a podcast. It's like two friends are sitting and you just go and join and they're talking and you're just listening. Like listening. Started at 11 in the night. It's 3 in the morning. Oh, I'm still listening to this. Okay. Hey, there's Martin. I know Martin. Let me listen to what Martin has to say. Yeah. Like all our friends. Martin is like a friend.
Correct,
so I'm like, I know Martin.
Dude, Martin's such a stand-up guy. What a guy, dude, he is.
He's so composed, dude. So I express, like when I go to an audition, so me and Martin end up in the same audition sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Martin is going to get it because he's like the top model in Bangalore. If Martin is in the audition, he's going to get it.
Fuck it.
And I'll express whatever I feel. I'll be like, this audition is not that great. Martin will just keep, Martin's smile, right? That he'll just keep looking at you and smiling. He's just smiling. Good day, bad day, he's just smiling. I'm like, what is this guy?
Dude, such a sweet guy, dude.
Amazing.
Every time I've spoken to him, right?
Yeah. That smile is always on his face.
Correct. It's like actual good talk as opposed to small talk and all that shit. If you talk to him, right, it's like wholehearted talk.
And after I watched the podcast, I got to know that life has not been so easy for him also. He's one of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, how are you smiling like that? You either must be insane
maybe
or...
that's how the smile came. Yeah, right? That's how it's come. Yeah.
Commendable.
And the second thing you said was you were commending the kind of work that we did. So dude, that really means the world to me, especially when someone from the production, side of things,
I'm
right?
not seeing like what you have done in 1 year, but I'm just thinking where you would go in 5 years with the same kind of focus and, hard work. It's getting Sennheiser on board is like, dude,
exactly.
Like you just got into the industry and you're like, right, Sennheiser, you're like, yeah, dude, let's do this. Like, what? I know I wouldn't even get like I won't take the brand name, but like a 300 rupees mic.
Let's not call names.
Yeah. The one which plays in all village jatres, those big speakers, which brand. Yeah. They also wouldn't sponsor. And you pulled off Sennheiser, dude. Commendable.
Oh, shit, dude.
This is your, what to say, mark of progress.
Shit.
This is your certificate.
I will give this piece to Sennheiser. This
free branding.
There you go. Oh man, no, but dude, seriously, like I remember when we got the deal came through. I had a couple of interns working with me. I told them we have some big news that finally Sennheiser is on board, and all of them are just like blinking and staring at me on that call. I'm like, guys, Sennheiser is on board. They're like, And I'm like, wow, these guys must be like, it's so hard to crack.
Not hard to crack. We know what Sennheiser delivers, the kind of quality and the kind of science and engineering that goes into their products.
Dude, they don't even know the brand, bro. That's why they're like,
it's okay.
Sen what? Sen? I'm like, shit, bro. Fuck, I'm talking to the wrong crowd here.
Should have said JBL or something. Then they would have got
excited. I know. Sir, you could have said boat, no, sir. Yeah. What, sir? I was like, oh. Anyway, dude, this is awesome. I think we spoke about a lot that I had planned and more.
Yeah.
If you had to send people online to find you online, where can you send them? I'm assuming Instagram.
I'm glad I didn't have to give that message right now.
Shit, do you want to go back and give it?
I don't know what to say. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I've been overthinking. That's what I said. I watched all your videos. Yeah. I'm like, what? My end message has to be better than everyone's.
I
have to leave an impact.
No, go for it then. You did extremely well with what you said last. So that's why I didn't go.
I hope I didn't say anything politically incorrect.
No, of course not. So, but still, if you have one last message for our audience, what would it be?
Now, like you have now, just be in the now, man. Don't overthink. Don't overdo. Don't be afraid. Like a lot of people are afraid, and that's what's slowing them down. That's not what's stopping them. That's what's slowing them down. You would have had so many things you wanted to do, but that fear kind of slowed you down.
For sure.
And now you think if I had actually started at that time, things would have progressed like far off. Everybody's situation is different. Maybe you have responsibilities because of which you're stuck in your job and you don't want to do certain things. Figure out. Be in the now, figure out your shit, and just flow.
Kick-ass, bro.
I'm flowing. You flow too.
We all flow.
People are gonna ask what do you smoke, but I'm clean. I'm very clean.
I just smoke clean.
Nothing. No, I drink hot water, if you want to know. So yeah, that works.
Oh man. And yeah, if you had to send people online, dude, where can you send them?
Instagram right now, Macha, Macha.
Bro, I found a thing on your profile, by the way. You've linked it from your personal account to Macha, right? I think you had an extra A.
Yeah.
So that profile is not there anymore.
Thank you to my agency, Sean Pius. If you're listening to this, thank you for getting it done. I have a wonderful agency who are supporting me. I'm like, there's an extra A, it's bothering me. 2 days, done. A's off. I'm like, whoa, okay. Do you guys want to be paid more? Or like, what's the deal here? Like, but you guys are amazing.
Shit.
Sean, Matthews, Ankit, these 3 guys are like my pillar from
Matthews is a nice guy. I reached out, PR team, there's no need for us to talk, but we have spoken at length, literally over a couple of calls, and he's such a sweet guy.
He understands what I want. He doesn't get me the brands which he knows my audience won't like. He gets me the deals. I don't even have to tell him that this deal works or this brand deal doesn't work. He'll be like, this is right for you, this is not right for you. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to put any effort. I just need to shoot the reel and give it. I'm done.
Correct. Right.
I love my team. I'm so grateful.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Life is just amazing right now.
Dude, that's awesome to hear. Shit. Cool, dude. Like I tell all my guests, man, once we hit a milestone and we get to...
Yeah, I'm coming again, no?
Yeah. Pakka. You're already there, bro.
I want to do more podcasts.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. Dude, this is awesome. And dude.
I hope that again is soon because
I
don't mind doing one more tomorrow also. I have a different topic.
Bro, you brought like more t-shirts and shit so we can actually get you changed and sit here and say it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Different topic, different person. Or I could get the guy on my WhatsApp DP.
No, fuck, dude. The day you changed it from that one creepy guy to another creepy guy, right? That day I knew you were joking.
I'm changing the numbers. People will start abusing me now. You didn't reply to my message because of this?
Oh man. Dude, Macwin, thanks a lot, man, for making this happen.
Thank you for what to say. Thinking that I'm worthy enough for this? I don't know what.
Of course you are. Yeah. Dude, I mean,
this is amazing.
Dude, people know you for one thing, but this side of you, I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, especially people in comedy, a lot of these people have the other side. You get it? And I'm glad that...
does. I mean, I think comedy originates from you being able to think so much. It's not easy to write a comic piece.
Correct.
It takes a lot.
Absolutely. So, dude, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much.
Dude, it was awesome.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I guess that wraps up my conversation with Macwin. I love how Macwin had already thought about the last message and the different bits of the show, because even before we had the conversation, right? I think the day prior to the shoot, he was like, so I noticed that this is what these people are doing. So should I be doing this? And he was also like, I'll bring like 2-3 pairs of t-shirts or clothes, and we can try things out based on how it looks against the backdrop. I'm like, man, you're putting in so much thought for this, which I freaking love. It really makes me feel good when people vibe with what we're trying to do here. And so yeah, Macwin, I wasn't kidding. We'll definitely have you again on the show once we hit a milestone, or when we can again make this happen. And yes, glad that we were able to explore a very different side to Mac. It's not something, like I said, I would have expected when I look at his content, of the kind of person he is. But the fact that, man, he's got a very different sort of discipline and different lifestyle itself kind of shows that you need to have that discipline and routine for you to create something humorous or create something regularly and consistently. So yeah, what about you? Did you like the episode? If you did, then great. You should hit the like button, I guess, because you're still watching or you're still listening to the episode. So hit that like button. If you didn't like it and you're still around, then like I said in the last episode, I'm really confused, because I think even you're super confused, because what are you doing here? It's like a good hour and a half of this conversation is still here. So yeah, I'm assuming you liked it. So hit that like button and also subscribe to our show, because yeah, we have a whole lot coming your way. And if you're watching this, if you're listening to this rather on your favorite podcasting platform, and which I'm hoping is either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then might I recommend just maybe leaving a small rating and review. It'll only take you 15 seconds, but it'll mean the world to me. It'll really help with the algorithm and getting the word out there. Like I said I think in the last episode, or I don't remember where I spoke about this, but discovering content on audio is not an easy thing to do. So ratings and reviews really, really help. So yeah, if you could just go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and just below the show's name, hit that rating and review button and just review, and maybe preferably leave 5 stars. I'm hoping, if you like it. But yeah, and finally, if you like to subscribe for my newsletter, then you can head on down to my website, where I send out short reads about topics that will get you to really think and act in your life. And I'm hoping you do subscribe. I think that's what, again, you know what I'm really trying to do, man? I'm trying to keep this extremely off the cuff, keep it super candid, unscripted. I just have a few bullet points here, and I'm just trying to keep, going, because I'm trying to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Again, I'm trying to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know it sounds a little strange, but it's really helping, because I could never do something like this a while ago. So finally that I'm able to do this itself is a big, huge deal. So like I was saying, if you'd like to subscribe to my newsletter, then head on down to akashdamodan.com and sign up. It's completely free. I guess that's pretty much it. I don't have any more bullet points here. So let's wrap up with this episode. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.